Horrible Human Beings, the Regrets episode. And I forgot to say the good morning, good morning. So it took me a minute. I had to walk to the spot, but I was thinking about Jay-Z's first album and everything to make it a classic. But the two of the deepest songs on there was The Evils and Regrets to me, even when I was young listening to it. Now that I'm old and got a host of regrets on my own, it sit different. And I guess I understand it different. But it made me think about when I was thinking about regrets, it made me think about this spot right here. So they building a lot of houses, or they have yet to build them. And I thought about it, that's like how life is. When you start out, your house ain't built. Your foundation really ain't built, because you don't build your foundation. Your foundation get built for you. So in the course of your life, you building your house brick by brick, or whatever you build your house with, it's just like a house. Foundation can crack, pipes and bust, everything can go wrong. A hurricane might come and wipe the whole house out, and then you starting again like that in the distance. You just piles of dirt, and you got to do the construction yourself. But as I get older, I'm realizing that the regrets weigh you down, especially after a certain point, because there's things you can change and there's things you can't change. And until Marty McFly for real invent the DeLorean time machine, you can't go back and change any of them things. And particularly in my case, there's so many things. I wished I would have did this, or I wished more of it is I wished I wouldn't have did that. I wished I would have made this choice. I wished I could have been like this. In all honesty, that concept of the multiverse, that there's a million different variations of our universe and our dimension, with a million different variations of us in there. There's a universe where every choice we didn't make, we made, and vice versa. That's a real novel concept. But it made me think about what I can do to affect what I got now, and the time that I have left, and the choices that I have. Because like somebody, the old heads always say, every day above ground is a good day. And it's true, because one day you're not going to be. And there's not going to be many choices for you to make, as far as we know right now. But sitting here, looking at all of this I want to say unpaved land, unbuilt homes. But if you look in the background past the homes, you see a bunch more land that ain't been developed. And at some point, no matter what your house, how your house grows to be, how it breaks down, maybe you build more than one house. I stopped looking at the houses and start looking at the land that has yet to be developed. All them trees in the background that maybe somebody gonna buy up, developers gonna come, build houses. Kinda, I look at that like, well, that's the future. That's your time left that you have control over. All these plots right here is already bought and sold, which is kind of like, I don't know how you want to look at your timeline and your past. What's done is done. Your decisions have been sold to you. You bought them, and that's it. But I still can develop what's all the way out there. And being figurative, I can develop me. It made me really think about, I have a niece-in-law who a very, very intelligent young lady, and she recently got married. Matter of fact, she got married to a young man. I'll call him Big Ant, but his name's Anthony. Now, Anthony is such a great, honorable dude. Like, it's very, very extremely rare. It's like you'll win the mega millions, the mega billions, at least for me, before I met a young man of Anthony caliber. And he can't be no more than 24 or 25. but the energy he exuded when you met him, it was genuine. Not to say you meet a lot of genuine people through the course of your life and your journey, wherever you're going, but Anthony's version of authenticity and genuine was so benign. I'm using cancer terms. Benign is like the passive one. But for once in my life, I ain't interpret his being passive as being weak at all. Not like he wasn't strong-willed. Like, I feel like my niece is with a man. So Anthony don't have to cuss. He don't have to have a million street stories or been out there or nothing. And he don't project that at all. Not in the least bit. But he also don't project not being a man. And it started making me think how much what I interpreted manhood to be and what it was all about. And every time I meet the young guy, when he'll leave, it's almost like Ant he's a mirror into my multiverse, because I always wonder, at a different juncture, had I chosen this role or not chosen this, or stayed true to myself in this form or dynamic, where would I be? Not even now, but back then, at Ant's age. And it's really refreshing to meet him. And that's not to say, I know I got a lot of, well, a fair amount young guys who I know that is just as equally as genuine and are genuine good dudes, because everybody's journey and the things they deal with are different. But as I get older, I realize your regrets start a long time ago. So for all I know, baby Anthony got a bunch of regrets. But you can only have but so many at 24, 25. And even if you feel like you got a lot, then by the time you reach 40, 42, 43, man, you got a lot more life to live. But being true to yourself and making the choices that feel right, God forbid when we make choices we know feel wrong, I think you end up all right, and you end up happy with yourself, happy with your place in life. And for later in life, who's to say that you're not the developer, where you're actively developing the plots in your life and you're not looking towards the forest or what's on the horizon to develop, because you're actively making it happen now. And that's really something, that's the gift and the curse of youth. It's, as long as we survive our youth, then we get to have that. But that's mainly what I thought about as far as regrets in life, and then building these houses and how we build our own houses. And sometimes we not building houses, we building our own prisons and don't even know it. And you don't have to do one day in an actual city jail, one day in a penitentiary, one day in prison. Your choices can become you can develop your own jail, and you can sit there and live there and sit there with your habits. But that's for another time. Horrible human beings, the regrets episode. Y'all be safe.